Hello, 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 everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here in southeastern Manitoba. Beautiful, sunshiny day out there today, 3 degrees Celsius, which means it's 38 degrees Fahrenheit. The grass is still growing. Ron has already put the mower away, but it's pretty shaggy. But I don't want him to mow because of all the fallen leaves that are still on the ground, and that's where the fireflies nest. And I've noticed the last few years our fireflies population has dwindled. So I'm really hoping that he's going to not mow and crunch up the last of the leaves and things. Anyway, that's that. So I was thinking today we would do teacup towers. I always see these interesting, kind of wobbly, wonky teacup tower. Try it. That's like a tongue twister. Teacup towers in Pinterest and other things. I thought it'd be fun to do them so that we could do like a page border. Hi, Lee. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. So anyway, I thought a teacup tower would be a fun thing to do. We could have it for a border on the edge of the page. I've got a few ideas of what to do with it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to draw a teacup. So I'm going to just take a piece of scrap paper because I've got scrap paper. Just and we're going to picture a teacup in our head. So there's the brim, right? We've always got a nice brim. And then, of course, it's going to come down like a cup and up. And then it's going to have a handle, right? Basic, simple, fun, right? Of course, you can make them taller, you can make them shorter, whatever you like. Just remember that when you've got your piece of paper that you're cutting your teacup out of, if you draw it on the back, it's going to be in reverse. So if you want your handles on a specific side, remember to draw the handle on the other side of the cup. So this is just a piece of painty paper here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to draw, mucky nails. I was cleaning. Teacup. Now you can do them as big or as small as you like. That's wonky. One side's bigger than the other. It's fine. We're doing wonky teacups anyway. And there's the handle. So we're going to cut it out. And yeah, I could wobble cut this, but I think that for the teacups, because I want handles and things, I'm going to draw them just so that I've got it. Now I'm going to go on the outside of the handle. And of course, I've got it on the wrong side, so I don't really know what the front side's looking like. And it doesn't matter if you're on the line, inside the line, outside the line, you do what works for you. Now I am going to fold this in half, kinda. Just so that I can cut this little piece out here against the mug or the cup. And it gives you the handle. Now, of course, once you've got it glued down, you're going to be embellishing it, drawing it out, that kind of thing. So we do know that we have the inside of the cup, right? Would be nice if I had a pen that would write. Okay, so we know that we're going to have the inside of the cup. So we're going to draw that on the cup. And of course, the handle is on the side. So we're going to put a line down that side just so the handle looks like it's behind a little bit. Now, if we were to shade this, we would take a darker color. This doesn't matter what it is. It's a darker color. And so we would shade here because it's back behind the cup a little bit. We would shade the bottom just slightly. Doesn't have to be too much. And of course, the sides get a little bit of shading also because the teacup is round. So we kind of want to embellish it so that we've got the round feel of it. Right? So we're going to do that on both sides. And then, of course, it's going to be darker here on the inside of the brim, right? So now we've got plain little teacup. It's cute and simple, and there we have it. Of course, we can outline the rest of the teacup, just to keep the flow going. Again, it would be good if I had a pen that wrote on that paint. And then, of course, we're going to take a white pencil crayon way back there. And we are just going to highlight this center area a little bit just to make it stand out. And of course, we could do that at the top of the handle for the mug too. Don't forget to outline the handle on the mug. Now, of course, if you wanted to fancy it up, you could use metallic gold around the brim, on the handle, things like that. Okay, so now let's do another one. I only want half this piece of painted paper here. And we're going to, it doesn't matter if it's even. Hey, Belinda, nice to see you. It doesn't matter if it's even. We're just taking a hunk of paper. Well, turn it over, and we are going to draw another teacup. Again, we're going to start with the upper brim. And this one might want to go kind of this shape. And of course, this is the back, so I'm not overly concerned. And then the handle. And again, remember, the handle's going to be on the opposite side because this is reversed when you're doing it. Now we're going to cut it out. Oh, look, I just did red and green. Who am I? I'm going to cut this to the handle. You don't have to be perfect. Okay? Does not have to be perfect. Because we want wonky teacups. We do. Okay, so again, where the handle is, we're going to fold the handle in half. Now, the fun thing on this one is I kind of want to get that shape in there. So I'm not going to cut it all the way to the teacup this time. I'm just going to cut that. So now I can go in with a smaller pair of scissors and cut it to the shape I want. I hope everybody's having a good week. I've been having a good week. My girls and I went out on Tuesday and got matching tattoos. So that was fun. And then this weekend is canasta weekend. So everybody's going to be here to play canasta. And then on Sunday, it's the junk journal group that I belong to is having their kind of Christmas party thing. So we're going to be doing that on Sunday. Next weekend, there is a big craft show in a town called Gimli. It's about an hour and a half from here. It's in what we call the Interlake. And twice a year, they do a studio tour with their artists. And so this is part of their, what they call the Wave Tour. Okay, so there we have a little mug, cup. And again, we're going to draw the brim. And the side of the cup. We're just going to do a bit of an outline on the inside. The handle, don't forget to do the handles. And of course, you could do mugs, you could do cups, you could do whatever your heart desires. And so again, we're going to shade just a little bit in here. We are going to shade the top of the cup handle and the bottom because it is behind the edge of the mug cup. Do a little bit of shadow down each side to make it look dimensional across the bottom and down this side. Doesn't matter what color you use for shading, guys. Does not matter what color. And then, of course, we're going to take that white and we're going to do a nice white down the center to make it look like it's closer to you. Now, you could just glue this on top of that one, but you see the exact bottom of it, so it doesn't look real. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a blade or even a pair of scissors, just put a little fold here, just a little fold so that you can snip it with your scissors. And then we are going to go just in the shadow and cut a line. Try and do it as straight as you can. Doesn't matter because we're probably going to outline it again anyway. So now we're going to take that one and we are going to tuck it in that so it's a little bit wonky. So you can cut it as wide or as short as you want. So of course that would then get glued. Okay, so we're going to glue that. I want my liquid glue for that. So we're going to put some glue under this brim here. Right? We'll do it this way. I'm going to put some glue there. Whoa, way lots. Don't need that much. Glue brush, you'll work. I'm going to take some of that off. And then we're going to add some glue. And if I cut it bigger, it would tuck in tighter. Hi, Sherry, nice to see you. Of course, it would tuck in tighter, right? But now I've got that bit of glue on the end of this brush, and I'm just going to wipe it on there and glue that piece down. Now, you could do this as tall, as short as you want. It would be very, very cute along a page edge, a towering thing of mugs, 2 or 3 mugs. We'll do one more mug to fit this one, and we can glue it in and then embellish it. But I also pulled out my napkin covered papers. You know when you get little bits of napkin, I like to glue them down onto paper. I've got some more bits here, and I've got dictionary page, and I'm going to cut a bunch of mugs out of this, and maybe a saucer as well. I'll show you how to do a saucer as well, and then we can do a really cute little tower. Now, you need to remember too, is when you're doing your journals, I like to use half-page journals now. Instead of doing, I've got a piece of paper. Instead of doing the journals that I used to do where I just would take a piece of paper and fold it in half, right? So then you would have a nice, tall, you could do quite a few. Of course, you can make them smaller, you can make them bigger, you can make them whatever size you want. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to do that next one. Oh, right. So normally I use half pages. Hi, Kevin. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. I am making towering teacup embellishments for journals. So it would go along the edge of the page or something, or something, or something. I'm just going to cut this page in half. I appreciate your share, Kevin. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I cut it in half. So this is the size journals I really like making now, is where the pages are this size. So of course, this is going to take up pretty much the whole darn page, but that's okay because you could turn that into a flip. You could use it however you like it. You know, you can make them smaller. You can make them bigger. You could have one big mug on your page. Doesn't matter. Look at all this stuff. Surprise, I'm throwing that out. Okay, so I pulled out another piece as well. Let's do another mug on this one. I think I just want a small one. We'll see what happens. Never know how I'm drawing. Now, do I want them this way, this way? I think I want them this way, and it'll be a bit taller mug cup. So is everybody getting ready for Christmas? Okay, so again, we start with the brim. We go down. And that's kind of rounded as well. And then we're going to have the handle. You can make your handles as thick or as thin as you like. We're going to cut this out because I'm pretty happy with the way it is. I do think they'll be very pretty using the napkins. We're going to do some of those shortly. Just wanted to show you what it looked like with some painty papers. And again, if you cut right on the line, good. If you don't cut on the line, it's fine. Remember, this is wonky mugs. They don't need to be. We're having fun. We're not super concerned. Okay, so again, this is not a straight line. It's not bad, but it's not a straight line. Hi, Liz. Nice to see you. You're lurking? All right. Lurking or merkin? I like to do that too. So we're going to fold the handle halfway so that we've got the handle and the attachment to the mug sticking out. And again, we are just going to cut a little. Let's use the smaller scissors. We're going to just cut a little piece out. Just enough so that we can get our scissors in there. Oh yeah, you guys have Thanksgiving next week. Forgot about that. Okay, so now we've got it like this. We've got that little hole. We can take our smaller scissors. And yeah, I have used my big scissors for this as well. And we are just going to trim it to the shape so it matches the other side. And again, my handles are not all uniform size, uniform thickness going around. You can see that. They're just fun. This has a bit of a point here. I don't like that. I am just going to round that off because I can. Oh, that kind of did not round. We flattened that. There we go. Can always trim, guys. Can always trim it. So now we're going to flip it over. We are going to draw so that we've got the inside of the mug, right. We've got the sides of the mug, the bottom, and don't forget to do the handles, both ways of the handle. Okay, Now again, thanks, Jerry. Okay, so again, we are going to shade the edge of the handle because it's behind the front of the cup, right? It's like, I don't have a mug here, but you guys know what I mean. I'm sure you've got a mug close by you. So again, we're going to shade the sides of the mug. That's what gives it a little bit of depth. Shading the edges. And yeah, I'm using a brown pencil crayon. You could use something that matches the mug better. I'm doing it so that you guys can see more clearly what's happening. And then inside here. And then, of course, we're going to take the white and we're going to color down the center because we want it highlighted. Doesn't really matter on this one because it is pretty white as it is. Now, we are going to cut inside this one so that this mug will slip into that. So again, we're just going to take little folds, just a little pinchy fold. Do it so it's behind if you can, right? We're going to snip, and then we are going to put our scissors in there and snip it this way and snip it that way, kind of along the shaded area. Then we're going to take this mug and we are going to tuck it in like this. And that's kind of cute. So now that can get glued in, or we could put a strip of paper. I just need a strip of white paper. I have some over here. And look, it's the perfect size. We're just going to take a piece off, probably about like this. It's going to need to be trimmed down because we are going to use it. Definitely needs to be trimmed down. Okay, so it's going to fit down there really nicely. I have to open this edge just a little bit more so it goes down straight. Yeah, like that. And then we're going to glue that onto this mug. So we're going to stick this in the way we want it. And then we're going to put this mug on top and take them both out. And that's how it's got to get glued. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? So then you have kind of like a little hidden tag. So when you're gluing it down into your journal, you would glue down this edge and the handle, and down this edge and the handle, and then you have a hidden tag. Is that fun? And again, like that can go on a half journal page. It could go on a full journal page. Hi, Jean. I'm doing Teacup Towers, but I did it so that there's a little journaling tag so that when you stick this one in there, you have a little hidden thing. So now you have to be very careful when you glue not to overstep where the tag's going to go. So maybe do it like this, kind of outline it so that you know where the glue belongs. Get it positioned the way you want it. Glue it so that your tag's going to go in straight so that you can do that. So that's just with some painty papers, a little bit of shading. Of course, you can embellish it, you can doodle it, you can do whatever you like to it. So now, with all these napkins on book pages, I think I could get some really cute teacups out of these. So I think I'm going to just draw a bunch of teacups and cut them out, and then we're going to see how we would like to arrange them. What are you up to today, Jean? I was just, it's Jean's birthday on Monday. We are going to be celebrating on Jean's channel Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock Central. I don't know what time that is for other one. Yeah, you can write a secret and no one know. Like, you've been poisoned. Never mind. Okay, so I think something this size I will cut in half. I'm thinking. Because it would be kind of nice to get a saucer to go with the cup. Do I have more than one of this? Let's do something where I've got more than one, so I can do a saucer and a teacup. Okay? So let's do the teacup first. And we're going to cut that in half. Because that's pretty big. Okay, so let's do the teacup. Let's do, Let's do the handle. This one's just a simple shape. We're just going to cut that. I want to see what it looks like with this paper. Again, if you don't cut right on the lines, it doesn't really matter. It's a wonky teacup. Look at me, drawing before I cut. Drawing before I cut. What the heck is that? Did I follow the lines? Sort of. Okay, so again, we're going to take this handle from the teacup. We're going to fold it in half. And we're going to cut the handle here to the edge of the teacup. We're going to go down. And then at the bottom, round it kind of in. You rubbing off on me? Of course you're rubbing off on me. I think we're rubbing off on each other. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the way that turned out there, this wonky bit here. I'm just going to trim that down. So basically, it's a rounded square with a handle, guys. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. Oh, drawing the line? Yeah. Well, I'm doing that more so that people can catch kind of what I'm doing. And of course, it's on book page, so there's words underneath. Okay, so remember, you're going to draw the inside of the cup. You're going to do the sides of the cup, the bottom of the cup, outline the handle. Oh, look, the napkin's coming up here. That's not good. That isn't what we planned. I used dry glue to glue the napkin down. Because I get so impatient that I don't want to wait for things to dry, and then I stack them up and they're tacky and they all stick together, and then I just throw them out. Okay, so we're going to draw on the handle, both sides, top and bottom. Now, I have not shaded on napkin before. We're going to try it. We are going to try it. I think I want a darker green this time. Maybe like a gray. What are you? You are a dark brown. We'll use the dark brown. Here we go. So again, we're going to shade the handle where it joins the mug. Then we're going to shade the edge of the mug. Seems to work. Seems to work. And the bottom. And the other edge. Again, it lifted. And I did burnish it down. You know, I did use my bone folder to push it down. Oh, it's going to be a bit of a annoyance. Oh, thanks, Sherry. Thanks. Okay, so now we're going to wet glue is making it. Okay, so I'm not sure I like shading on napkin, guys. It kind of tears, and maybe I'm just not being nice enough. Okay, so these mugs are chipped. Okay? Chipped. The mugs are chipped. And there. Now, if we want to put a saucer with that, we'll take the same pattern stuff. And we're going to put the mug kind of halfway down, like this. Doesn't really matter. Now we're going to draw around like that. So that's the kind of shape we're going to do. That can be flat. This needs to be a little bit rounded to give the saucerish shape. I talk good much me. And again, we are just going to do this. And, you know, probably folding it in half would be a good idea because then you get the curves nice. But we're wonkying it, right? We are making it wonky. Now, what we're going to do is saucers usually have a bit of a ring on the inside. We're going to draw that. And then we're going to do the outside. Now, when you do the top, go in quite a bit because you never know where this mug's going to sit. And you want those lines to be there. Okay? So now I'm going to glue that onto there and we will have a mug and saucer. What I will do is take a black marker, this black marker, and I will edge that. Edge the bottom of the mug. Let's just edge the whole thing. Maybe shading it isn't too good an idea. Maybe what I need to do is use some paint instead of pencil. I don't know. Maybe some muck water? Not sure, not sure. So we did do the shading across the mug there. We are going to glue the mug onto the plate. Yes, I am great at making up new words and redefining old ones. So again, we are having Jean's birthday party on Monday on her birthday on her channel. Come and join us. Oh, time to do the have-tos? Ugh. Well, have fun doing your have-tos. Can you just pop your channel address in before you go so that we've got it for Monday? And if Jean doesn't do it, Sherry, can you please do it and, do the channels, please. It's always nice to support our other peeps. Put in Kevin's and yours and Lee's and Jean's. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I can kind of relate to that. Okay, so now we have a mug on a saucer, or a teacup on a saucer, whatever you want to call it. So, of course, now we have to do a little bit of shadow under the mug. And again, since we're going to be making a tower of mugs, we would then cut a slice across inside where it would be the inside of the mug. But we're going to wait until we've got a couple of more mugs ready to go. Jean, I've been throwing out my scraps, just so you know. All the cutoffs around the edges, gone. Gone. Okay, so we're going to use this piece. And I guess that's just going to be a really cute little mug. Oh, procrastination. Oh, yeah, I've been doing that for a couple of days. Mind you, this is the first time I've been down here for, I don't even know how long, because my arthritis decided that it was going to be annoying as all get out. Okay, so the top of the mug, or the cup, and it's going to go down. This is more like a teacup shape. And a handle. If you so desire, you can make the handles as fancy or as plain as you wish. And the mug's the same way. Mug's the same way. You could do square mugs, you could do round mugs. I hope I have given you enough examples of just how to draw them. And again, when you're doing the handle, you fold it. So that it's not right at the edge of the mug. And if it is shaped, you just want to take a little slice out so that you can go in and trim it to the shape you need the mug side to be. I'm going to leave that, but I am going to trim down this bottom curve just a little bit. It's pretty heavy. Again, doesn't really matter. Do what you like. Hi, Fun with Paper. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. Just back from the haircut. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we have a rough mug shape. Let's doodle it in. So we've got the top opening, down the sides, and the bottom. Remember to do the handle. And again, I'm not a really big fan of how the shading went. I'm going to try it again on this one, just because I can. Bring a dark brown, do the inside of the mug, the edge to make it kind of have to go this way, because this is napkin on paper, and for some reason coloring on it it's not overly happy. I guess I should have a paper under me when I'm doing this, but I do not. Do not. And then, of course, where the handle edges touch the mug, because it's not at the edge of. It's Jan. Okay, welcome. That's right. Oh, yeah. I don't recognize you with that name. Goodness. Goodness. We are doing mug stacks, teacup stacks. So started with this one with Painty papers. And this one I did so that it's got a tag in it, so that when it's glued down, it's a pocket for this other mug with a tag on it. So now I am just doing some little mugs. Oh, see, that one's going to fit in way far, which is cool because we want all different size mugs. That one might have to go farther up the row. Let's do this one. I really like this piece right here. And I guess it would have to go this way so that that tulip is facing up. Okay, I'm going to cut that there. The handle will go on this side, Okay, so let's draw the mug. We've got the top brim. Nope, it's got to be more over here. We've got the top brim. This is the back. We can make as many mistakes as we want on the back. Top brim. And this one's going to be a little bit bigger as well. Kind of like that shape. That's much bigger than this one, but that's okay. We're fine with that. And this one's going to have a straight edge. You know, it's going to be reasonably straight. And then nice big handle. All right. Ignore this line. We're going to do this. Hey, Cal, nice to see you. How you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. I am doing stacks of teacups. And so I'm just cutting out a bunch of teacups using napkin covered dictionary page. So when you draw your mugs and handles and stuff, you don't have to go right on the line. You can, it doesn't matter. If you don't manage to make it right on the line, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so again, that's a big handle, that's fine. We're going to fold it in half. No, we're going to need a little bit more. Now we're going to cut this out. And the nice thing is, because this side is straight, we can do it like this and hope. The thing that you kind of have to watch for when you fold it over, see now I've got a really narrow edge there for that handle. It's a wonky cup, guys. I didn't take into consideration that the handle was folded over, and they get pretty thin, and I did that on this. It is that time of year. Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty mug. Very pretty mug. So again, we're going to make sure that we do the inside for the brim and the sides. The handle, oh, that's very thin. It's okay. It's okay. And we're going to use this brown. And again, we are going to put some shading in the mug here. I guess that should be a little bit rounded too. But that's okay. We're learning, right, guys? We're all learning here. And we want some shading down the sides. And the bottom. This side. Tiny fussy cutting. Nice, nice. Yeah, these are napkins on dictionary page. I had all these bits of napkins sitting in the bin beside me. And it's like, let's use some of those up. So they're glued down onto dictionary page. I know people who do this all the time. They glue it down onto their dictionary page. So that's a very pretty mug. Now, let's add it to this one. So again, we're going to take this mug, and right at the top, at the back, we are going to put a little wee fold. We don't really want to get the fold down here. It's okay if we do a little bit because they're going to be glued down. But if we're doing it with as a pocket thing, we want it to be a little bit more flat. So on the fold, we are just going to make a snip so that we can get our scissors in there, and we are going to cut along the inside there and along the inside over here. And the thing is that because they're different sizes, they're going to sit inside the cups differently. That's why they're going to be wonky, right? But that's a pretty big cup. If you find it's too big and you don't really like it, you can always trim off the bottom. So let's glue that one in there. So again, to glue it in, we put a little bit of glue at the back. Well, it's the front, but where the back would be behind this one. You can put that in even more tipped, should we desire. This one's going to be closer to the top, so I need a smaller mug between these. And I'm not going to make it a pocket this time. This one I did with the hidden tag. This one is just going to be straight down edging, you know, edging things. Oh, thanks, Teresa. Okay, so we've got this one. Want something brighter? How about this one? I like that. So this has to be kind of a medium-sized mug. So what I'm going to do is I am going to trim it there. That's going to go in the garbage. I'll have it this way. And let's trim here a little bit. Nice. Nice. That's what I had for supper yesterday is beef stew. And of course, we've got leftovers for today. So I'm going to use that size. Use any size you want. Use what you've got. You know how I roll. This is a nice piece of, you know what? It's going in the garbage. So again, if you do it out of plain paper, you can then decorate each and every mug differently, right? You can cut out little flowers, you can paint them, whatever. If you use just plain paper, you could do really nice brims, right? With some gold on them. Okay, so we're going to turn it over. And we are going to draw a smaller mug. Okay, we're going to go this way. So we got this, and it's going to be this shape, and the handle. So it's smaller. Again, you're going to do it your way. Does anybody want me to do the way I draw the mugs slower so that you can draw along with me? So this has a little bit of a waist to it, so we're going to just put this like this and just cut a little bit out so that we can do that. See, just cut a little smidge so that when we open it up, we can, whoops, see where I need to cut to. So now we're just going to go in and cut along the drawn lines. Or close to the drawn lines. Doesn't have to be right on. This is art. This is handmade art. Hey, Doretha. Nice to see you. I am doing teacup stacks. So I've got a whole bunch of book page covered napkin bits that I'm cutting the mugs out of. And we're stacking them. Now, you could just make a whack load of mugs and cups and to have a stash on hand so that you can make stacks, or you can just have one at the bottom of the page. You don't always have to do it this way. So again, we're going to make sure that we've got that brim happening. The edge of the mug, bottom. Make sure you do the handle. Okay, now we're going to do the shading. So where the handle joins the mug gets a little bit darker. And then we do the shadow down the edge. That's going to give it that look of depth. And on this edge, the same thing. Oh, thanks. I've been wanting to do some of these for a while. I just haven't. Okay, so we've got the shading. It's not blatant. Okay, so this is a small one. So I'm going to cut a smaller slice in this mug here. And again, we're going to take this one and we're going to pinch it at the back so that we don't have too much of a crease on the mug itself, just at the back, because we're not going to see that. And so where that crease is, that we're going to, okay, we've got to fold. Just do a snip this way into that fold. Open it up, and we are just going to have a little hole for this mug. It could be like a demi-tasse. They don't all have to be the same size. So again, now we're going to glue that one in. I am going to, if you see, I've got a little bit of a point there. I'm just going to take that little bit of point off because it's going to look goofy sitting in front of that other mug. And again, we're going to put some glue on this edge right here. A little bit of glue, because you won't see it when you stick this mug on top. And because I've got this other little mug, I'm going to stick that one in, and that's going to be the top. And that's a big one. That's not going to fit in a small journal. That's going to have to go in a full-size journal. So it will make a very cute edge border. Again, you could do it much smaller, bigger, make smaller mugs. I'm going kind of large today. Okay, so you can see how I fold that. I just put a snip in there. And this mug's going to just fit in there like this. So we're going to put some glue on there. And stick that one in here, like that. And we have a wonky tower to go on the edge of a page in a journal. Again, you could turn that into a flip. You could turn that into a tuck spot, you know, back it on some black or whatever. This saucer could have been bigger, but that's okay. It gives you an idea. And of course, you can have flowers coming out the top one. You could have a critter or like a goonie bird or something sticking out of the top mug. You could have, you know, make it fun. Make it fun, guys. So this is the first one I did to Aretha. I did it with Painty papers. So I did 3 mugs, but the top one comes out and it's got a writing tag on it. So I'm going to glue that down as a pocket. Just make sure that I've got enough for this to slide in and out nicely, you know, carefully. And when it's in a journal, I think that people aren't going to necessarily notice it's there, and you know. So again, if you do this, you have to make sure to draw lines where the glue is not to go past when you're gluing it in, because you need to have a free run for that other, for the tag. So I think that's a cute set. Odd colors. I don't know about you guys, but my mug's not, your grandkids get you mugs for Christmas, your nieces, your friends. My mugs don't all match. I do have a matching set to go with my dishes, but for the most part, they do not match. And of course, you look at various pictures of teacups and mugs and get ideas for how you'd like to do them. And some of these I edged with the black marker, some I did not, I noticed. You know how I roll. But once it's glued down onto a piece of paper, you're going to outline anyway. Maybe. And because they're napkin, I am using colored pencil. You have to be careful and go from the center out, because if you go the other way, it seems to lift it. That's why we have this one's a little bit chipped on the edge, which is okay. It's okay too. Now I was thinking, plain colored paper mugs, you could have an absolute blast with them, because then you could decorate them yourself. You can put like little rims of some stenciling or hand-drawn little flowers, maybe, some dot work, some doodles. It could just be a variety of fun things. Yeah, make them your own. Make them your own. But I will show you again how I draw them, because I really want you guys to feel comfortable on how to do these. You just have to remember that let's use a marker, and then you can see what I mean, right? So you start with the top. Now, if you're doing it on the paper, like I did with that one, I wanted those flowers to be the center. If you're using blank paper, it doesn't really matter. If you're using painty paper, the same thing. But you do need to remember the way you draw it. If you draw the handle on this side, it's going to be on that side when you flip the paper over, because it's the reverse, because it's the back, right? So if you want the mug to be on the left side, you draw it on the right side. If you want it to be on the right side, you draw it on the left side. If you want a two-handled mug could be very, very cute. So you start with a skinny kind of oval at the top, because that's going to be your opening. Then you're going to draw a shape. And again, you could fold the paper in half and just draw half and then cut. That would have two handles, though, right? You could have a big handle. You could have a little handle. Let's give this one just a little handle, right? So that's basically how you draw it. So then when you're shading, you shade the inside about halfway, like the edge, right? And about halfway up. And it's going to be there, the top of the shading, that you are going to put the cut in for the next mug. So then you would shade down the edge here and down the edge there, and shade across the bottom, and definitely on that part of the handles, because it's behind the front, right? And again, this slice here is going to determine how far the next mug is going to go. But you could just do a variety of these and stash them and have them ready to be doodled on whenever you feel like it, or embellished. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from taking this mug and getting one of those little blingy embellished things, and just putting a little blingy embellished thing, you know. it's like any other piece of paper. You do it the way you want. You could even take a stripe of another color and give it bands of different colors. You know what would be really fun is if you found like a comic book and the cartoon character, if you could figure out how to make the cartoon character middle of the mug, that could be a lot of fun as well. Yeah, Kimbits. Kimbits, Kimbits. So again, like if you have a book and there's a cute little bird, instead of cutting the bird out, maybe make it into a mug. Just some ideas, guys. Just some ideas. I mean, then you would probably want to draw on the front or, kind of figure out how you would, you know, cut it so that the critter or whatever is in the front. Doesn't necessarily have to be the center. You could put words on it. Some of those mugs have some really cool sayings and things. Oh, if you're wondering, I just got this tattoo and it still has the skin on it. So I have a weird crunchy thing. Washi strips across the middle would be really cute too. And again, like I say, if you have like a gold marker or a gold pen, you could always do, how the gilt along this edge. Very, you do have to go around a little bit because you don't know where the other mug is going to sit. And then, of course, it would have probably a strip of the gold around the handle, right? Is it clear as mud, guys? Do you want to see me draw the mug again? Is anybody drawing along with me? I guess you could always do vases like this too. Not worry about the handles. Just do a series of really odd shaped vases and make a tower of vases. Could be fun. One more drawing explanation. Okay, so soup bowls. Soup bowls could be really fun, especially if you were using like, well, I mean, even the mugs, if you had some really interesting scrapbook paper. Oh, soup bowls. Because, I mean, they don't all come in the same shape, right? Oh, yeah. Soup bowls could be a blast. Jan G, Fun with Paper. You did change your name. Awesome, Jan. So, again, you start with the top, you do sides and the bottom, and if you could do a double handle, you know, because some soup bowls and kids things have double handles. Again, I probably then would fold it in half and cut it. Yeah, an outline in gold around the saucer, definitely, definitely. Yay! Your name used to be Jan, didn't it? Like on YouTube. I don't understand why it did that. And I think too with the napkin, if you have smaller print, because I think that would be real, unless I'm doing a big page. But I think you need a smaller kind of print on the napkins. See, like this one, it's very interesting because butterflies, but it's got holly and berries in it. So I would probably want this one as the center of the mug or the bowl. All right. This one would make a great mug because it's so little. It's a florally kind of thing. I like this one. Anything with a pattern. Now this one I would probably want this hydrangea in the center of the mug. Then you get things like this, where if I cut the mug, then I just have weird color stripe kind of things. But like this is a 3 by 3 inch piece of paper. So I would probably want to do them smaller. Maybe, I would do them smaller. You guys, I don't know how you love fussy cutting, but. And then two, like I say, with the saucer, then you would do it so that it's like this. And then, of course, it's got the inside ring. How did I attach? I used dry glue, like glue stick. So I dictionary page. Glue a hunk. Put on your napkin. And the nice thing about doing it this way is how you've got those crimped edges where they crimp the edges and it's bubbly? If you do it like this, those smooth out. And then I flipped it over and used my bone folder to burnish it down. And it worked good. I mean, I didn't get the glue all the way down there, you can see, but it really sticks good. And, that's where the crimping was. It's not bad at all. And if you've got like a thin muslin kind of fabric, you could do the same thing. You could put the napkin down on fabric as well. Very little wrinkles. Very, very little wrinkles. So I guess, if you had decorative tissue paper, you could do it with that as well. For sure. But too, like I say, if you were to do plain paper ones, you could decorate and embellish. Painty paper ones, decorate and embellish, doodle. But I really kind of liked this idea where the top mug can actually come out with a journaling card. And again, like I say, if you were to do this, make sure that you get the glue so it's not, so you've got enough room to get that card in where you need it. And of course, you can draw those little tea bag strings out of them if you wanted. I still think it'd be cute with like little flowers or something sticking out the top. Also, if you've got the flower and on a napkin or whatever, and you like the flower, cut out the flower and just put it in the center of a mug. I do like the soup bowl idea. Exactly. Or even a cat. Oh, wouldn't a cat? Where's my cat book tabs? Cat tabs. Oh, that's not the right box. But a cat tab would be really cute if I have to go and grab a cat. Need a little cat. I'll take those. I'm looking for my little cat tabs. I don't seem to have it. What? 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 Let me grab this. Let me grab this box closer. You guys in here? Oh, look, I do have. I do have one. I do have one. Okay, so wouldn't he look cute just sticking out the edge? Hanging over the edge? Or hello, bird? You could have anything peeking out the top. So yeah, make it your own. Okay, so I see that I need to put a little bit of glue under this edge too to hold it as well. A little bit of shading more would be required there. Because this edge seems to be buckling out a little bit. So I'll go from the back and see if I can get close. Oh, lots of glue. Way lots of glue. Yep, way lots. Little drop would have done it. But yeah, so, those are just the kind of little things that, but again, if you had cutlery, you could have some cutlery, if, from a magazine or whatever, sticking out the top of the mugs. What would you guys do? Do you like this idea? Would you do many this way? You need some of those cats. I thought I sent you some of those cats. Let me just see if I got bigger ones. They're just wobble cut. They're just wobble cut. And then the paws, like I fold them and cut them, and then I go like this, and then I can have them like as page tabs. Yeah, no, I mean the tag could come off one of the other mugs too, like just a little line and then a little square hanging thing. I'm sure I sent you these caps, Kel. You also wanted cats. I can't remember. And these are my new cat designs. I have to make more of those. Yeah. Yeah, no, I wobble cut those cats. You know, you just cut the ears and the head and a couple of paws. And I do it on a folded piece of paper so that I've got two of them. So that, look, I got all these little bits on my keyboard. I wonder how many little bits are in my keyboard. Yeah. Oh, definitely. The watercolor papers would be lovely. They really would. Or even like a doodle page. Like, I'm not going to cut these into teacups, but I could see, doodled ones like that would make a great stack. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Wow, it's only been an hour. It's not even been an hour and a half. Do you guys think that you could draw the mugs? Did I give a good enough explanation? I mean, even if you had interesting book page with florals and stuff on it. And again, I went really big because I wanted you guys to be able to see better what I was doing. You could draw them as well. I have tried drawing them, but I found that when I drew them, it would start here and it would almost like go in an arc like a rainbow. It was pretty funny. But yeah, no, I'm thinking that, if I cut out a whack load, then I've got them and I can just add even just one cup, right? One cup with a cat sticking out the top of it on the corner of a page, or a soup bowl with a cat sticking out. Yeah, I mean, this way they're supposed to, but whatever. Just have fun. Just have fun. All right, I am going to call it a day. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. And I know it was short, but I think I've conveyed my idea to you guys. And I hope you guys think it's doable. I think this is really funny with these two really little ones with those big ones, because I'm thinking this probably should be like right to the edge, right to the edges. Oh, yeah, it would make a great cluster. Definitely. Definitely. I mean, think about it. If you had like a little, I don't have separate ones, but if you had like a row of mugs, little mugs across the bottom of a page, wouldn't that be cute? Like a border? Especially if you're doing like a Mother's Day, spring tea, or even a winter hot chocolate kind of thing with mugs. You got it. You got it. All right, guys, big hugs to you all. I am appreciative of each and every one of you guys who has been here and participated and chatted and visited and Hope that you guys give it a whirl. Anybody up in the balcony, I appreciate you as well. Oh, let's see. Sherry sent me a message. Did you play? Did you play? She did play. Sherry's got a whole whackload of mugs. She's even got one like a tankard, like a beer stein almost. So like it's a big, heavy coffee mug. I like that one. Those are awesome. Those are awesome, Sherry. Absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see you decorate them. I can't. I can't wait. All right, guys. Big hugs to each and every one of you. Audiences, replayers, balcony watchers. Hugs, guys. See you next. No, I will see you Monday on Jean's birthday party on her channel. We're going to double up and be on her channel and celebrate her birthday. Hugs, guys. Take care. Bye now. Thanks.